Hey, folks. So, here's an interesting one for you. It seems to be, and especially in the day of the internet, it seems that people are just getting so hooked on collective identities anymore. And it really kind of baffles me because, as far as I'm concerned, the most important label that you can ever put on a human being is their first name. And the second most important label is their last name. But yeah, it just seems to be like, and especially in like the realm of activism, it seems like everyone wants to pick one thing they have in common with a group of people and then rally behind it. And I just can't get behind that kind of stuff. Okay, call me what you will, whatever. But for instance, I'm donor conceived, and you're never going to hear me say, as a donor conceived person, because my story and my experience of what I went through is going to be completely different than a lot of things that other people have went through. And just because someone else has had a similar struggle to me in life or a similar situation does not in any form or fashion mean that I would even be friends with this person or even like this person. Not that I wouldn't. I mean, typically I like most people I meet, but having like a struggle in life or a physical characteristic or anything of that nature does not guarantee that you would even have a kinship or camaraderie with that person. And then, to be quite frank, if you go looking for people that have just one thing that, especially if it's something you can't even control about yourself, like your physical appearance or anything else of that nature, in order to just bond over, to me, that's really superficial and kind of shallow, to be honest with you, you know? Matter of fact, I've got a good story that may express this just a little bit better than I can say it. So, I'm a safety man, and I may or may not have some times at my job where I have a little bit of downtime and I Google some really random stuff. And an article caught my eye one time about iguana infestation in Florida. Now, my viewers from Florida, please forgive me if I butcher this, okay? I'm just kind of going by the memory bank. But to my understanding, there was a large infestation of iguanas that were causing all sorts of trouble for people. I read part of it said they were getting into swimming pools and using the bathroom in there, and that was getting the kids sick. They were chewing wires. There were some of them that were dying and then falling, and there were some larger ones that were trying to attack small pets. And I read that and just thought that was the funniest thing ever. Like, how ridiculous is that? All these lizards just falling everywhere and all this sort of stuff. And it's one of the most random things you could think of, an iguana infestation, especially because they're typically pretty, like, they used to be, I should say, sought out after as pets, you know? And I was telling my mother about this, and I was just laughing about, look at these stupid lizards. Oh, my God, this is the funniest thing ever. And she's like, shame on you, Zachary. And I'm like, what? She goes, you had Larry, your iguana, when you were a teenager. And I was like, well, yeah. And she goes, but you had Larry and you loved him. And what if he were to die or something like that? And she gets to looking, and I get to looking, and I'm like, oh, wow, there's actually people you pay to come out and shoot these things in your yard because they're such a nuisance. And she's like, that's not funny. You should be upset over this because this is iguanas dying. And I'm like, well, first of all, I think iguanas are a cool animal in general, of course. I mean, that's obviously why I got one. But just because an iguana is an iguana does not automatically mean I'm going to like it. Okay, I loved Larry because he was my animal companion when I was a teenager. He was an awesome iguana. But that doesn't mean I'm going to like that other random iguana over there. That other random iguana, he might be a jerk. I don't know him like I do Larry. Now, he gets to meet me and I like him. Well, sure, I'll like him. But it's kind of like me thinking, you know, I'm a human. I have human friends, and I generally like a lot of humans, but by no means do I like all humans. I'm not going to like that human that tries to attack me randomly somewhere, or that human that's trying to do something bad to me just because he's a human and I'm a human. But anyway, after that, Mother's like, well, you got a good point. And so the idea of a lizard apocalypse is pretty hilarious. I said, yeah, I told you that. But anyway, though, hope y'all enjoyed that, and maybe you just got something out of it. We'll holler at you soon.